Hey, everybody, thanks for watching this week's episode. We want to promote where you can see us. For tickets, go to joegattoofficial.com to see all my tour dates. And for Steve's, go to punchup.live/Steve-Byrne. That's Byrne. He makes it super easy to find him. And now, on to the episode.
There was a problem, yo, I saw. Word to your mother.
2, 1. Oh.
Yep,
I just
we're back.
Hey, we are here. 2 cool moms, baby.
We did it.
We did it. I am Joe Gatto.
I'm Steve Byrne.
And we are so excited to be here for multiple reasons.
Yes. Happy belated holidays.
Happy belated holidays. Hope everybody's
everybody's good and yeah.
No in-law problems. Did you have any in-law probs?
No, I'm just bloated.
No, but I mean, that's all the time. I mean, that has nothing to do with the holidays.
In-laws, no, I don't ever have issues with the in-laws. The in-laws are pretty cool.
That's great. So it was all good. Everything was great.
Everybody's happy, healthy.
Kids
good.
liked everything they got. Everybody was happy about it.
Yeah. My son, it's weird. My son I gave my son $50 and I said, just get your sister anything in the mall.
Oh, I love that.
You know what he got her?
What?
$50 gift card to Victoria's Secret.
No, he didn't. That's so crazy. Steve, you're telling jokes now. That started such a sweet, wholesome story because I just got. It'd be weirder if you picked out the bra.
You son of a.
I had my sisters, my mom. I don't know if you had this growing up. When I was growing up, my mom worked at our school that we went to, St. Adalbert, shout out. And she was the secretary. So she would help set up the holiday fair, which was basically just other people's garbage. It was like all homemade crafts that you went and bought, like an ashtray that said #1 dad on it. You know, things like
right,
that.
yeah.
You know, put your butt here, like stuff, like all this stupid junk, right? And they would go and they would give you, I remember my mom was like, okay, here's $10. You could go spend whatever you want and get whatever you want. Inevitably, you know, you'd spend the 10 and you go back to hit it back up. And I'd be like, Mom, I really want this paper mache Santa Claus for grandma. You're like, what?
Yeah.
So my kids had this fair at their school. And my daughter said, no, I'd rather go to a real store because she wanted to go shopping.
Right.
Instead of the thing. So
supporting
it was like, local businesses.
Right, yeah.
She didn't want to go to the handmade stuff. But did you have like one of those weird fairs growing up?
I don't remember us going to fairs. The only thing I remember is like my aunt and uncle from Korea, they set up a thing every Sunday at a flea market in New Jersey. So we'd always go to the flea market and we go support them, but then us kids would just walk around the flea market and hang out and buy candy and stuff like that. But in terms of like a Christmas village or anything, I don't really recall doing that in Pitt.
2 things I love. Love a good Christmas village.
Yeah.
But it gets a little cold.
Anal. Sorry.
How much work are you trying to give us? Because we got to cook it. I can't cut a lot of this episode.
Well, it's a setup. You set me up.
Yeah, but it could have been any other thing.
Okay.
It could have been.
Okay, ready?
Try again.
Do it again.
Try
Ready?
again.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, all right.
Ready?
This is going to go great.
Good. Ready?
Now I know what you do because I had to leave the first part in.
No, I'll do.
There's 2 things I love.
Totally different setup. Here
Okay, there's two things I love.
Okay.
A good holiday village.
And anal beads.
You put the beads on it, you're better.
I put beads on
it's
it
better.
because it's funnier.
It's more like an activity, like a craft.
Yeah. You told me you're up to 12.
12. No, that was the bracelets.
Gotcha. Okay,
14
cool.
on the other one.
My apologies. And 3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
Back.
Check.
Your favorite 2 things in the holidays are
A holiday village.
Yes.
And a walking hot cocoa. I love a
better
walking
than
hot cocoa. I don't do a marshmallow in it though. Don't get me started.
Do you remember where your favorite hot cocoa is from?
No, I remember where my favorite hot cocoa goes because of my mouth. No, I do remember some legendary cocos. Here's one for you. Okay,
yes.
Down on Union Square, they have a great outdoor holiday village. Bessie had first moved here. We were living on Wall Street.
Right.
I said, we got to check out this holiday village. Okay, this is a 100% true story.
Yeah.
Holiday village, we got to come, right? This is very similar to something that happened to you. We go down to Holiday Village, Union Square. Awesome, blah, blah, blah. We're going there, whatever. We're hanging out. We get the hot cocoa, walking around. Oh, look at this. How much is this stupid painting of the Empire State Building? Oh, $150. No, thank you. You know, all this stuff. We're looking at all this trash. And then we'll go, and there's this woman she's sitting in the back of Union Square Park, and she's got just like a couple scarves, and she's petting a cat.
Right.
And so Bessie's like, oh, a cat. And she walks up, and it ended up being, it was just a homeless woman with her clothes. And wait for the kicker, she was petting a possum.
No.
A pet
Are you
possum.
serious?
Bessie screamed and made me take her home. Unbelievable, right?
Rockin'
There
around.
is-
Oh my God. That is
She was
crazy.
scarfing it. Possum don't stop him. Possum don't stop. Right in the middle of the right in the middle, like it was like tchotchke, ornament,
Jeez.
possum. It was
Possum,
crazy.
Not a good looking
It
animal.
was no.
Not cute.
top
But
5
some
on
people
this.
domesticate
Domesticate them,
the-
yeah.
It's weird.
That is weird.
But they're good for, I guess, ticks. They eat ticks in
Yeah.
the summertime, which is good.
Well, that's why we need them. They're marsupials, which you don't get a lot of over on this continent.
No.
Australia's got the big.
What? Joe,
Australia's got a lot
I'm
of that.
learning.
Yeah, Australia's got the copyright on marsupials.
Well, look, you know Australia. I mean, it's deadly.
Yeah,
Anywhere you go.
everything could kill you in Australia.
Everything.
That's why. That's why they try to keep people away. They don't want you to come there. So like, listen, you come visit. It's
Yeah.
fine, but you're gonna die here.
Did you just toured in Australia?
I did a tour in Australia a little while
How
ago.
was it?
Yeah, it was so fun. It was on my bucket list forever since I was
Yeah.
like 14 years
Oh,
old.
so it was
to
your
go.
first time there?
My first time there was
What'd
so
you
much
think?
fun. I loved it. I went, me and our producer Mark Jagarji and Jiggy. It was
Yep.
just the two of us on like our honeymoon, which was so fun.
Wait, did he, because before he was telling me about how he's going to fly there, did he go coach?
He did.
He did go coach.
He did. But he ended up getting a whole row that he was able to lay down. But not on the way back. On the way back, he got
Wow, you
jacked.
get a row international. That's rare.
Yeah, because it was like a Tuesday or something. It was something
Okay.
weird. But on the way back, it was like Saturday.
He didn't spring for it, huh?
He didn't spring for it. No, Jiggy? Who? T-Rex arms?
Yeah.
He's not here to defend himself either.
Thank God. Let's talk about him.
You guys know. When's the last time he bought you a coffee? See? It's not fair to talk ill about him when he's not here. Let's only talk ill about him when he's here.
Okay, sure. Let's talk about his wife.
Did you? Well, lovely woman.
Great woman.
Did you ever interact with like a wild animal, a wild beast that you had to capture on your own in your yard or at your house? Like,
I'll tell you this.
okay.
My daughter's guinea pig passed away.
Oh,
And
rest in peace.
it was in the garage for a good week because I was on the road. And then they're like, will somebody bury it? You know, it basically means, Dad, will you bury it? So I buried the guinea pig.
A new one grew. Now you have a guinea pig tree.
And then literally like, I guess 2 weeks later or a week and a half later, I was on the road and our cat got out overnight and everybody forgot the cat was out. And then my daughter wakes up and is going to the bus and the guinea pig's in the driveway like zombied because the cat smelled it and dug it
Dug
out
it
and
out.
pulled it out
Yeah.
and left it in the driveway.
Gave it CPR. Was like, come here. Meow, meow, meow. Here.
But that was I don't know. In terms of a wild animal, no. Have you?
When I was younger.
You must deal with
Oh,
animals.
Staten
on-
Island. Staten Island, I lived next to the woods. We were runneth over with possum.
Yeah.
Oh, there was an angry possum went after my sister and Nino. My brother-in-law Nino and my sister Gina came back from
Yeah.
a date. They yell from their driveway, and my father comes down, and I was collecting weapons at the time. And my father,
Sorry?
yeah, I collected weapons. I was talking
kind of
about this.
weapons?
When I pretended I was a ninja around the neighborhood. I had a wall of weapons. I used to go see the guy at the Big Apple Bazaar. You should listen to our podcast. It's really great. So I went. I used
You're
to
like an 8th grade John Wick.
yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there was this. We talked about this. The Big Apple Bazaar had this old Asian gentleman who looked like exactly
Why,
like the
why
guy
did you
that
take a
sold-
breath after you said that and looked at me like you caught? What does that mean?
That you're
Asian
Asian and you're an old
gentleman.
gentleman. He looked like. For those of you just listening, I just pointed right in Steve's face. He looked like the guy that sold the Mogwai in Gremlins. Like he was one of those.
Right,
Right,
yeah.
And he used to just sell me all these weapons, and I had all these things hanging on my wall. I had a crossbow, a blowgun, I had a BB gun, a bow
What
and arrow.
were you most adept with?
Bow
by
and
the way?
arrow.
What?
Bow and arrow.
Bow and
Fantastic.
arrow?
Archer.
Really?
Yeah, hold egg. I used to. My neighbors used to hold the eggplants in their hands from the garden. I used to shoot them out. Swear to God. Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
way, dude.
100%.
No way. An eggplant?
Eggplant.
No, an apple is like
Right.
girth. An eggplant is
No, an full eggplant.
Oh, you the
I don't know
bottom.
what kind of eggplant
Yeah.
you're working with. Yeah, full eggplant. So anyway, so Nino and Gina, picture it. They come home. It's late at night. Light fog is rolling through Staten Island. Okay,
Set a scene.
they lock the door. Boop, 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 and out of the car. And when they do the boop, 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 when the flashing, it scares the possum that was in the corner of the driveway, and it ran up the top of the pole.
Yeah.
And my sister didn't notice, and she walks by, and it goes right in her ear, like.
Oh shit.
They scream and run. They come in. My father runs outside. Goes, "What's the matter?" And she's like, "There's a possum." And we see it sitting there staring at us.
Yeah.
He's giving us the maloika. He's giving us the bad looks. My father goes, "Go get the crossbow."
No,
And I
really?
went upstairs. This
It's go time?
This is such a moment of my life. I'm a young boy protecting my sister.
Yeah.
I come downstairs with the crossbow. I take aim, and the crossbow fires early and flies over his head. I was so upset. So I said to my dad, I said, "Let me go get another one." And he was like, "No." He's like, "We'll have to take care of this like men, hand-to-hand combat." And he got a shovel. And we had
No
to
way.
take it out. Yeah, because it was like getting very aggressive near the house. So we just want to get rid of it. So then he gives it the old dong, and then he puts his arm around me, and he has it, and he's holding it. And he's like, now he's holding the shovel, and he goes, "Now a few words." And he gave a eulogy for the possum. It's one of the funniest things ever. I remember we were laughing.
That's
And
how
then
old were you at
and
the
then
time?
I was like 14, and then we went and buried it.
That is
Yeah,
a
that's one of my
great
favorite
memory.
memories of that. Yeah,
That is
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, but in Staten Island, I lived by the woods, so we always had like things around. Yeah.
Yeah, in our neighborhood now it's just deer and
Oh, you have deer out
Possum.
there in the Ville?
armadillo. I see armadillo all the time. And
You got armadillos rolling around
Yeah,
there? How
Yeah.
cool is that?
pretty cool.
I've never seen an armadillo in real life.
Really?
It's like a cool turtle.
It's
Armadillo's like a badass turtle, right?
yeah. It's like it's like a possum with like rhino skin.
Oh, there's no shell? Dillo is shellless?
It's a shell, but it's like
Oh, it's like skinny though. It's not like a turtle shell. It's like
they curl up in a ball.
get out of here.
Yeah.
No, like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Really?
Swear to God. Yeah. They're,
He had some armadillo in
they're
them,
actually
then.
kind of cute because possums are disgusting looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Armadillos look petable. Possums don't.
No, possum is like
No,
where
possums got that face.
you lose a finger.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Even the Chinese don't eat them.
Yeah.
That's how awful they are. Sorry.
You could say that though.
Again.
Again, I'm pointing right.
Have
in
you ever
Steve's
heard of
face.
Kilwin's, by the way? Kilwin's chocolate? That's
No.
the best hot chocolate I've ever
Heard
had.
of-
You guys
okay.
have heard? That's literally the hands down the best hot chocolate I've ever had.
Really?
Hands down. Because you know why?
Go ahead, Hemi.
They use
Coco.
milk.
Oh.
I hate
What
when
kind
they
of
use
animal
water.
uses water? No, I never use water ever.
Dude, come on. That's every Christmas village. They dump
you're
in the
right.
water. They don't
They're
put
right.
the
They're
milk
doing
in.
it quick. They're
Yeah.
doing it for discount, and they charge you. That's right. Would you do mini marshmallows in yours?
No.
Cinnamon stick?
No, I'm
That's
a
just straight cocoa.
I'm a straight man.
Me too.
Straight
With the cocoa.
cocoa.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I don't mess with the marshmallows. Always congregate together and form one jumbo marshmallow that wants to choke you to death. You know that? They get hot and they coagulate, and then you just have this fat marshmallow cup. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Hold on. That's the one thing you would love.
A marshmallow?
I've eaten with you. I go out. You're all about desserts. You're all
I
about
hate
patience.
marshmallows,
You'll get
though.
a dessert before the meal.
Marshmallows on my list of top 6 things I hate. Food-wise.
Can I list the next one? Okay. So
I'm not throwing it to you for
a
that.
marshmallow you outgrow, I think. Is that fair to say?
You outgrow Ello.
I
You outgrow Ello marshmallow. Yeah, I agree.
outgrew marshmallows, I think, in maybe high school.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you a pop quiz. Spell marshmallow. And can I please have us fact check it? Spell marshmallow.
MARSHMELLOW.
Wow, that couldn't be more incorrect. the W on the end? MARSHMALLO. That's all right? Oh, you're right?
Oh!
My
Who got it right?
apologies.
Point to me.
This guy.
Wait, no, there's an A in it.
What's that?
M-A-R.
He said that.
He said M-E-L-L-O-W.
What did it?
It's M-A-R-S-H-M-A-L-L-O-W.
M-A.
Not mellow. Mallow. Marshmallow.
Marshmallow.
Oh, all right. Well, you were closer than I
Marshmallow.
was. I was not very good at it.
That's weird.
How did the mini? The mini's only used in 2 ingredients. It's used as a sprinkle on top of a sweet potato, sweet potato mash during the holidays. That rolls in, and then in a hot cocoa. Then the mini marshmallow serves no other purpose.
Really? Honestly, you're right.
What else?
What a small market. Oh, hold on. Ice cream. A sundae.
Yeah, you're right. Those people who get a cold marshmallow is worse than a hot mellow. Hot mellows coagulate together. The hard ones are just you're chomping on them. It's like a chiclet. Those are the worst. Oh, I hate marshmallows. I hate them.
When's the last time you had one? S'mores.
I'll
I'll
tell
do
you
a
this,
s'more.
dude. S'mores not for me.
Really?
Yeah, messy. It's like eating a crab leg.
Come on.
Too much
you
work,
can't
not
with
enough
the kids.
return.
You don't like no?
No. Did you ever have? So I had the marshmallow. My son made me try one when we last made s'mores this last fall. We were doing the fire pit. He's like, Dad, you have to try it. Remember, try, because I make him try everything and he hates everything. I said, all right, I'll try it again. I haven't tried it in a while. And I tried it and I instantly hated it. I don't like the consistency.
There's
too
no
much.
consistency.
It's
either
I feel like a
blazing hot
cow.
or you still get the thing in the middle that didn't melt yet.
Oh, do you burn you burn them, right? Because that's the problem. Yeah, that's tough.
I like a nice little.
When you're
crisp.
doing a round, could you make a fire?
Could I make a fire right now?
You and I get lost in the woods.
I'm dead. I'm dead in 72 hours.
Wow, we'd be in trouble.
Serious
We'd be
trouble.
two cold moms.
Two dead moms.
Two dead moms.
You wouldn't be able to walk more than 2 miles
What are you pointing at me for?
because you couldn't. You'd be like,
I could walk. I'd complain.
you would complain. You would gas out so quick.
Is it uphill?
Even if it's a flat plane.
What if it's just slow?
I'll tell you what, if it was downhill, you'd still be like, I'm fucking done. I can't do
No,
this
because the
anymore.
problem is if I'm going too downhill, I have to lean back on it like Fat Joe because I can't start going. I have to. This equilibrium you don't deal with. As a portly gentleman, I need to lean. I have to be perpendicular to the ground. So if it's this, I got to lean back on it.
But when you go okay.
If I'm going forward downhill, I got to lean back. If I'm going uphill, I have to lean forward.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. Flat's the only way I could do it.
Honestly, when is the last time you just took a walk?
When I was with you, when we came from lunch.
But you never are like stressed out. You're like, I should take a walk.
I don't walk when I'm stressed out.
What do you do? Bake?
I go possum hunting. No, let me see. Do I ever go? Oh, I'll tell you where I like to go for a walk. I like to go for a walk when there's like a nature traily kind of thing.
Okay.
I'll do that. Like when we go for like the New Year's house. I rent a house at New Year's and we'll go like, the kids are like, let's go for a nature walk. And we'll walk through the woods. I'll do that.
Like there are things, like when Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels go to Colorado.
Yes.
In Dumb and Dumber, and they get the cowboy gear on. Like that, you dressing up in hiking gear would make me laugh.
Oh my God, forget it.
Could you
imagine me free climbing? Like trying to rock climb, like what do they call that? Free basin? What is that? No, free basin with drugs. What is that? Is it free
I think
climbing?
it's free climb.
Yeah. If I'm just out, could you imagine me like with
Never.
the chalk? I'm like, let's go up.
Never.
And
Boy shorts.
it would be powdered sugar on my hands. I'd be like, let's go.
Yeah, you just lick and stick to it.
I'd be like Spider-Man. Oh, that'd be funny. I did try one of those rock climbing walls once. And in my mind, I thought I was going to get way
I'm
higher.
just picturing 8-year-olds dusting you.
Yeah, they're like, move, old man. Yeah, I tried to. My daughter loves them. Is really good at them. My kids do ninja, like American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
They do that. That's one of their activities. On Mondays, they go to do a ninja camp.
I wish we had that when we were kids because
Me too. I'd love
for
it.
us it was Double Dare. I
Right.
think that's as close as you got, right?
sure.
But American Ninja Warrior is a lot of fun to watch.
So much better.
But it started out as Japanese game shows where people get fucked up.
Really?
Oh, Japanese.
Like
you ever saw,
Wipeout?
like- yeah. Like Wipeout on TBS is like a totally neutered version. I mean, these Japanese people are getting
Really?
whooped.
Really?
Fresh ones. Bah!
I gotta check that out. Wipeout, I never trust because they always just have things that you don't even see coming. Like the wall all of a sudden separates and just a big fucking fist comes out and knocks you. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
I think if we raced up a wall, how many minutes do you think you beat me by?
Pretty quickly.
Climbing. I'm talking
walls?
vertical.
Vertical?
Rock climbing wall. Me and you go to rock wall climbing gym,
Sure.
side by side.
Okay.
Ready, steady, go. Boom, and we're going up.
Yeah.
Takes me. You finish 2 minutes before me. 4 minutes before me. What do you think?
At least 3 to 4.
3 to 4.
I'd say, yeah.
I say being generous.
Do you think you finish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have tennis elbow right now, so I can't do it right now. But if I'm in pristine condition, maybe.
Well, but you're in pretty good shape now.
Yes, weight wise, yeah.
Yeah.
But not muscle wise.
Yeah.
I have muscle. I don't have muscle memory. I have the opposite of that.
Memory muscle.
Memory muscles.
When's the last time you played a sport?
With my body? I thought you meant like a video game, yeah. But sport, let me see. Oh, I play during the summer. Last summer, I played Ultimate Frisbee at my family reunion.
Oh, that's fun.
And I scored the winning touchdown by diving and catching it.
Did you
everybody,
really?
Yes, everybody was like, what the hell?
Because you
My
seem-
nephews went crazy.
This is very
It's meant to be a compliment. But it's not
ironic to
gonna
me.
sell.
No, it is a compliment. You can be very competitive.
Mhm.
And so I'm shocked you never got more into sports
Yeah.
because
I have the mind for it, not the body. I have the attitude for it. I didn't have the body for it. You know, never really.
all right, yeah. Well, that makes sense. I have the mind for it, but not the body. Well, but if you could compete in one sport,
Basketball. Oh, well, we're taking bowling off the table?
by the way, we've talked about this.
All
I'd
right, so
love
we're taking
to see you bowling.
Okay.
I'd love to see you.
Not right now. I have tennis elbow. I have to be
Yes.
in prime condition. I would probably say volleyball. I was always competitive in volleyball.
Okay.
Ultimate Frisbee.
So none of the big
And-
3 or 4.
No, but football, I was okay. I almost tried out for football, but I got hit by a car. So Jesus was like, it's not for you.
Get him a tuba.
They're like, Jesus, could you please give Ring his foot? Hold on, I got to take care of something in Staten Island. There we go. What do you need? Yeah, so. All right, well, that's it. But you played hockey. Hockey was your jam.
Love
Is.
hockey.
Still, right? You still pretend that you're in shape.
Excuse me?
You still pretend that you're athletic.
We'll
at
take
this
the first
age.
question now.
First question coming in hot. Andrew, bring us in. Andrew, say hello to everybody first.
Hi,
of all.
everybody.
Yes.
Andrew.
This is Andrew. Yeah, Mark couldn't make it, so we brought in the big guns.
Oh, shoot. Hi. Nice to be here. Okay, so this one comes from Steven. It says, hey, two cool moms. Could you give me some pointers on how and why women are blocking me? I've had the worst luck this year with over 10 women blocking me just randomly, all giving me reasons like, my boyfriend asked me to, or I don't feel comfortable around you, and without an explanation as to why. I've also had other women tell me that I'm too much and that I can come off strong. Any tips on how to know why women are blocking me and how I can fix this?
This is the first time where it's like, it's not you, it is me. I think really applies.
Yeah.
It does sound like it's him.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that people have blatantly told you what the problem was, that you're too much. I guess he doesn't. I guess the question comes from, why is he being too much? Okay, so let's break it down a little bit. If you're making people uncomfortable enough that they have to block you, look, the boyfriend one goes out the window because the boyfriend just wants you blocked. You're blocked. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about that one. You can't think about that. The other ones we need to focus on are, you're too much, or I don't feel comfortable around you.
Right.
Let's workshop those. Being too much could be interpreted as you're posting too much, or going, because we're talking about online only, right? So if you're getting blocked online, you're probably maybe DMing too much, posting too much, liking too much, things like that, or making comments they aren't comfortable with underneath, like, wow, that's a sassy bikini. Can't believe you pulled it off. Haha, LOL.
Right.
Shark emoji. Like, I don't know. Like I would block you there.
Yeah.
Like, it could be something like that you're making them uncomfortable with the comments. So I would say the first thing you could probably do is take your online, don't comment, don't DM for a month and see what happens. Just like, if you'd like. I would say that might be a good, see what the problem is. Are your comments coming across too much? Are you
Right.
DMing too much? That would probably be a good way to do it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea to kind of take some time off and take stock, but I think anytime it's too much, it usually stems from some sense of insecurity, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like maybe in the time off, you take stock of the things you appreciate about yourself and feel confidence in it. And I think when you're confident in things, like you're not pushy, right? You're not
Yes.
too much. Like if you go to like if someone drives a Lamborghini, it's like, oh, it's a Lamborghini. But if it's like somebody's like, oh, I got this, CRV, but it's got a 6-disc changer, it's got the
Right,
TV,
yeah,
it's got the AC, it's got the motor. It's like, it's a fucking CRV. It's a piece of shit. But if you're, it's like, yeah, it's a Cybertruck. It's cool. It's neat. I mean, people aren't bragging about this. So
Right.
I think I think it's almost like you got to just maybe take a little bit of time to yourself, right? And appreciate the things that you do like about yourself and maybe build off of those. But you don't need to take a victory lap or anything like that. But I think it always comes down to, I hear stuff like that. It just sounds like somebody who's insecure.
Yeah.
That just needs to just relax a second, cool your jets. You're good enough, right?
Right.
You're appreciated. But
Well, we don't know him.
true.
Why not?
But, like you could be like this.
Yeah.
And, like stare at people and just
So
like
much, yeah.
you know that's too much. It's like
yeah.
you can't help how you stare or something like that. But I don't know. I think actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
And it's just your actions are coming off.
For me, I would pick up some sort of reading about social cues because you're clearly not picking up some social cues. If people feel uncomfortable about you, because a lot of people, I've been in many a room, and it's really hard to make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Very hard, So if you do it, you're really, really
Yeah.
socially awkward or something is up with you, So if that happens, I'll always notice these people don't have the right social distancing, knowing when not to ask something or to ask something, staring at people or looking at people a certain way, smelling their hair. Like I've been in these all sort of weird situations. I was in an elevator once and this guy smelled this girl's hair and she was like,
His name was President Biden.
and he was like, what do you, and she was like, oh, and he goes, no, it just smells nice. And then he's like, I'm giving you a compliment. And she was like, yeah, but she's like, I don't know. Like that was,
creepy.
but he wasn't being like, he thought that was right. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't in a sexual or creepy way. He was just like, oh, your shampoo's nice.
Right.
And I was like, well, you just sniffed a head, dude. Like, don't do that, So
people's heads.
you can't sniff people's heads. I think that might help definitely because I think you're not picking up on social cues. If you make people uncomfortable, it doesn't have to automatically default to, it could be this, but it doesn't default for me that you're being creepy.
Yeah.
It could just be that you're just making them uncomfortable because the way you present yourself and whatever,
Well, here's the great thing though. Self-awareness, to your point, is that, but he does have some self-awareness because he's acknowledging the fact that he's receiving this information.
Yeah, but he's not looking in the mirror, it doesn't sound like.
Make that change.
Yeah, he's gotta look at that man in the mirror.
Make that change.
Come on. I mean, it's who's got to do it? He's got it. I think that's a big part of it. I think you got to say, he's like, I don't know why people are blocking me, and then he lists reasons why. So our friend Steven, he's got to do that.
This is, I know you've dealt with this probably every day of your life, but there's like after shows, every time after a show, there's always somebody's like, hey, do you want to hear a joke? And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, he doesn't want to hear a joke. Now he doesn't want to hear. It's like there's always that person that like is so unaware of the optics of the room or it's just like, yeah, I don't know you. I just talked for an hour. I want to go home and cry like in a hot shower. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's always, the only reason I brought it up is because I had that experience this weekend where it was another one of those people where it's like there's 5 people you meet after every show, right? Somebody's gracious, somebody who's too nervous, somebody who's way too boisterous, and then somebody who's so insecure that they flip it on you. What'd you say?
Anal beats.
Okay, do that to me, but here's your reaction. Ready? So there's the person that does the thing.
Anal beats.
Gee, will you write it down, Mark? I gotta write it down. I gotta take it down. I gotta take it out. There's some self-massaging that you'll do.
I love it.
Can that be the name of our episode?
Self-massaging? No.
No.
Gotcha, yeah.
But yeah, Steve, good luck to you.
So no, what you were saying was like those people that come up, they don't be able to read in the room is huge.
Yeah.
That is being able to.
But some people just don't have it.
Yeah.
Right?
Could you learn it? Because I'll say I didn't. Well, I think, you're also, I'm dealing with I'm talking about like coming out of adolescence. I think if you're an adult, you might be set in your ways a little bit. But I remember being too witty and mean with my comedy and saying things that would make other people feel bad to get everybody else to laugh. And I remember the moment where I was like, oh, I got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
And everybody should be laughing, not laughing at somebody, that whole thing, and having like a little bit of an awakening that way, My mom saying that stuff to me, just to drill it in because she recognized it too. But I think I learned that. But do you think that people could learn to read a room? I guess maybe by experience, by being around people more. Because there are all people that are introverts and then you put them in a mix and they're like, oh.
Yeah, it just comes down to reading the social cues, right? Yeah. Like literally just read the clues, dude. Like no one wants to hear the story. People are not even making eye contact or, just it's interesting, like the social dynamic just all the cues people give off.
Yeah.
I just pick up after shows sometimes where like you'll be having a conversation and somebody's just like standing there
Yeah.
and they're not even like, it's like you can see I'm
Talking to somebody, right?
and I won't even acknowledge you now because I'm
Here.
Now I'm like doubling down
Right.
on talking to this person, giving them all my attention because you keep being intrusive to the
Yeah.
space and you're also being rude to this individual.
100%.
So I don't know, it's just like that person isn't reading any of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you get that person to understand that?
Yeah.
And it comes down to like a person like you. Because I've seen you and you'd be like, I'm talking to
Yeah,
this
because
person.
you got to back this up right now. Give me
Yeah.
a minute. Give me a minute there, boss.
I mean,
yeah.
you literally have a great peripheral.
Yeah.
And I've seen you pick up on things and you're very kind, you're very patient, but you're also very honest.
Yeah.
And there's times you've been honest with people where I'm like, boy, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
I really, like, I truly
Well,
respect
that's why
that
we
about
hang
you.
out together because you make me do it for you. You just give me a old like neck switch or something. Yeah. I think it comes down to that. I think it comes down to maybe pick up a book or something about reading into like social cues and being able to manage the energy people are giving off to you.
Yeah.
Good luck to you though, buddy. Okay.
But the first step is the fact that he's reaching out and he understands,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah. And I would say definitely that thing about social media, take a beat from that whole thing.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. This next one comes from Karen. She asks, what is the advice that you were given, asked for or not, that you are happy you ignored?
Oh, Karen got a good one there. So somebody forced advice on you and you're happy you didn't follow it.
Wow.
That's a good one.
That's a good question.
Let's see. I'm trying to think about, because I've gotten advice from my parents, and I haven't listened to all of it, but I remember a lot of it being good. But I'm sure there's got to be.
I was told I should do a podcast.
That was
I
bad.
shouldn't have.
Yeah, you shouldn't have.
That's
Oh, you talking about the other ones that you tried and failed?
This one.
Oh, you mean this one? You talking about the 3 other ones you tried that didn't work, and then this one we got on iHeart Podcast Network? I'm sorry. You talking about the 3 other ones that had 7 listens across the board? You talking to? I don't know. I just want you to be clear for the listeners that are all tuned in, listening to this iHeart Podcast Network, a major conglomerate that we're on right now. I wasn't. Just be clear to the people. Are we talking about the one that you filmed with a selfie cam in your home office, talking about stand-up comedy and dissecting it? Whoa, the 9 people that listened to that loved it. I love you.
Wow. That cut deep.
Hey, listen, my first podcast sucked too. Now we found each other.
What was the first one?
2 cool moms. No, my
You
first
gave
one.
Parmesan.
My first one I did was is called You Seem Cool. And it was during COVID when I was finding people online, and they were really cool, and I just wanted to interview them. So it was like a 15-minute short podcast. It was fun. It wasn't bad,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. I don't think it was something that I could have sustained this format. I love, and I love
Right.
you, Stevie. This is
Oh,
great.
I love you too.
This is great.
But what was there something? Obviously, it goes back to profession. I'm sure that there were.
Oh well, I mean, I got one that pops off right away. Our agent told us that we were too old for TV.
Really?
That we should give up on it. Yeah, we should have sold to the format instead of trying to do jokers because we were too old for TV. Isn't that funny?
Really?
Yeah. So that's bad advice. I didn't.
You were
really listen to.
mid-30s at that point. I mean, that's
I was young to mid. I was like 30, 34, mid.
it's
34.
crazy to say that to somebody that.
Yeah, that had a good show on their hands too, which is crazy. Yeah, so that's number 1 bad advice that I didn't take.
Wow. What an. Man, anyways.
Hey, he had an opinion.
a horrible-
It's all
yeah.
right. It's had an opinion.
No, who is this person?
He had an opinion. It's fine.
Yeah, there's always people that will tell you though. I had one guy. Oh, when I first moved here, I came out of Kent and I was starting to dabble in stand-up, but I had a theater degree, and so there was this off Broadway show that was going on, and they needed somebody last minute, right? So I filled in for somebody, and I actually I remember this. I worked my ass off for 48 hours because it was premiering on Monday, and this person dropped off, and they needed like an Asian person, right? So it was about the Chinese Cultural Revolution. So I watched the videotape, but I watched it in a mirror because I was like, I put my TV and I put a mirror because I had to get the blocking right. So I even put it in the mirror and I was like memorizing the blocking and I was memorizing the lines and memorized everything. And then we went out for a cast party afterwards, and this guy said, "Congratulations to everybody." He's like, "It's so good to work with, performers." And then he looked at me And he said, even though some people maybe shouldn't be doing this.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, whoa, what the? Like, I
Yeah.
put all this work in, all the beats and everything. And then like 2 weeks after the run was over, he said something along the lines of like, this is not for you.
Yeah.
And
Trying to partake some wisdom to you.
Yeah.
Like, look, kid, you're all right, but this isn't for you, kind of thing.
yeah, it was just like, wow, that's kind of like a,
Yeah.
What did you
That
think
must
of
have been one of your
Saints?
first roles too, because didn't you say you majored in theater and you never performed at your college, right? You were always behind, right? So was
He
that
was
like
right.
Yeah, was that? Well, no. I mean that. Then you made your jump, is what I'm
but
saying.
then I come to New York
York,
City, and
you're
I
in
get
a-
cast in this thing,
Yeah.
and it ran for 2 weeks, and it got like nice write-ups, and it's funny because I never worked in Kent, but I always did stuff for the Cleveland Playhouse, and I did stuff
Gotcha.
like legit professional stuff. So
Yeah.
it was like weird that like I couldn't work at Kent, but I could go and make actual money with real working actors in the area.
So odd.
And get that, and then to get that, it was always like, I don't know, with acting, and I'm sure you deal with it too in terms of like jokers, but as a comic, it's like you're given opportunities to do things sometimes acting wise, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think in our industry especially, you'll get advice from people unwarranted a lot because people, even especially like if people you respect and have gone up higher or whatever, it's unsolicited most of the time. It comes from a place that they're trying to help you.
Yeah.
But everybody forgets that the way that people get to where they are is never, ever, ever the same. Not every actor that's on screen studied acting,
Right.
took an audition, got it, had a hit movie. Like that doesn't happen, right? Everybody gets to a
Right.
different place in a different way. So I think in our industry, people like always just try to share their story of how they did it and like, oh, maybe you should blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't apply to you.
Sure.
And you still get to the same place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like even when we did Sullivan and Son, you just brought up a memory for some reason, but because I was the lead, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm always there behind the bar. If there was a great line, I'd be like, oh, that's a good line. You should give that to Brian. It's like, but it's your line. It's like, I'm behind the desk. Like I'm always here. I'll always facilitate stuff. But I remember this one day we were doing a scene and it was like longer in the day and Christine Ebersol had a question about something in the script. Now, granted, this is like a summer sitcom.
Yep.
It's silly, but she still is like in tune in giving it her best and being performing.
Right.
And she's just like, it's just not making sense to me. And
Like motivationally based, like being
yeah,
like, why would I
trying
say
to
it? Gotcha,
figure
figured
out
got it. Something
how
about a
she
character.
could,
Got it.
right. And there was a moment where people were getting frustrated because it's like, it's 5:30. Can we fucking go home?
Yeah.
It's a sitcom. And I remember Gardell telling me, all roads lead through you. However you behave will have a ripple effect on the whole thing. So one of the actors taps me on the shoulder and goes, Jesus Christ, right? I go, you got to respect her process. You have a process, and she has a process. So let's respect the process. And I think that kind of like
Settled everything.
settled it.
Yeah.
But to your point, it's like everybody's going to get there differently.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to work in a different way as well when you do get there, right? And I think you just have to appreciate people's journey because and what people are dealing with on a daily basis too. You just don't
Right.
know, you know?
For sure. 100%. Everybody's doing some shit.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. Got that one.
Okay.
We got time for one more.
All right. This one comes from Amy. Amy is from Australia.
Oh, where
of
the
marsupials.
It all comes boomeranging
circle.
back.
Oh, she's a marsupial. Get me my crossbow.
She loves your show. I listen to you guys every week and hope you can help me. I have a lot of anxiety and get overwhelmed by the smallest of things all the time. Do you have any advice on how to help overcome it? Thank you.
Did you try not being anxious?
It's the easiest thing.
Just stop being anxious.
Yeah. Just go to sleep.
It's like,
so
what
easy.
are you doing? Like, oh my God, it's not going to happen. It didn't happen. You're fine.
Watch The Aviator with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's about Howard Hughes and go, at least I'm not that.
Yes, for sure.
And you'll feel a lot better about yourself.
Anxiety is very tricky for me because I don't consider myself an anxious person. I don't necessarily understand anxiety.
yeah.
And I'm a firm believer in most of the stuff you worry about isn't going to happen anyway. So you're wasting energy worrying about it and then not even have to deal with it.
Right.
So for me, I think you should probably, and with most anxious people, and my wife is pretty anxious, so identifying triggers is a big thing. Like if you find yourself going down the rabbit hole and start thinking about stuff too much, like you have to try to derail and distract your thought process. I think that's a big part. So like if you could just either throw on a podcast and listen to us, or put on music, watch a TV, or do something that stops you from sitting there and getting going. I know the hardest part is at night when you're laying in bed. That's when anxiety comes firing up the most for people, or social anxiety if they're coming out into a crowd. But I would just say, know your triggers, try to identify them, and try to find your ways to deal with them and relinquish them.
But to your point, it's like, what does not make you anxious?
Right.
Where do you find solace?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then examine that. It's like, why don't I feel anxiety with XYZ, but ABC does give me anxiety?
Yeah.
And it's like, I think if you can almost like reverse engineer it and go to it and go, why am I not with this, but with this social tick, perhaps I am.
Right.
And I think if you can examine that and get kind of granular with it, I think you could find the answers within yourself. Or, to your point as well, it's like, I don't get anxious when I'm cooking, but I do get anxious when I'm focusing on my bills.
Yes.
Well, then maybe you could focus on your bills while you're cooking.
Yeah.
I don't know, just like finding some middle ground
That's a great
between a behavior trait where you don't have it and maybe kind of offset it or off-put it in a healthy way.
That's great. That's really good advice there. Look at you.
God, I did it again.
You nailed it.
I did it again.
That's all right.
It should be called Steve and Another Cool Mom. I have all the answers. I'm the best. I really am the best at this. Give me more.
Can we put up a quick tally?
Yeah,
Just
I want to be
good advice.
undefeated.
Good advice, Joe, which is some chocolate, and good advice, Steven. Let's see where we end up.
All the people that took my advice that are major successes, that, Scrub Daddy, he talked to me, got him situated.
Listen, we want to hear from you guys. Okay, listen, this is what we're going to ask you to do.
The last person Joe talked to was the kid, was it Luigi Mangio?
Stop it. We got to cut that too.
What?
I'm not going to say that I talked to a guy who killed someone. You fucking dope.
You gave him advice. He said, "Oh, my neck hurts." It's like, this is what you got to do. I saw you guys. Okay,
yeah.
I'm the asshole.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
But I still love you. The thing to remember is I don't have muscle memory. I have muscle amnesia. Thanks for listening to Cool Moms. This is it. Remember to write in with your problems. Where can they find us, Stevie?
Two Cool Moms podcast.
No cast.
Two Cool Moms pod at gmail.com.
Take it again. Ready? Where can they find us, Stevie?
Two Cool Moms pod at gmail.com.
That's right. Or follow us on Instagram at Two Cool Moms Pod. Great work today.
Amazing work. By the way, you're touring constantly.
All the time. You could find tickets to joegattoofficial.com, and that's where I'm going. I'm all over the place. Please come see me. Very excited about the new tour, the Let's Get Into It tour. It's been very fun.
Yeah, and you're out on the road with our good friend, Mark.
Gigargian. Yes, he's coming out with us.
Yes.
And then you are just, doing your thing and telling everybody about it. So you could just go to punchupsteveintheface.org and what is it? It's punchup.live/Steve-Byrne. Steve/Byrne.
Yeah.
Just go down to the link in the bio and just get it. So thanks so much, guys. Love you.
These mommies love you, so show us some love.
Please rate us and review us. Follow us on all social media and subscribe to our YouTube.